Have you ever sat by a woman so silent that her stillness radiated power? Her silence so profound it echoed with strength. A woman who seemed to possess an inner peace that was unshakable. A woman whose quiet presence made you feel like a roaring lion in her majestic den. In the tapestry of human relationships, there exists a particular dynamic that often baffles and intrigues men. It's a relationship with a woman who doesn't need him. A woman who stands as a beacon of self-sufficiency and inner strength. A woman whose quiet confidence can both fascinate and intimidate a man all at once. The question is, why does this kind of woman strike such a chord within a man's psyche? What is it about her that he both desires and fears at the same time? Join us as we unravel the psychological labyrinth of this intriguing phenomenon. We will delve into the depths of human relationships, exploring the complexities that drive men wild over women who don't need them. Prepare to be enlightened as we uncover the secrets that make these women so irresistible and so daunting to men. You haven't met a woman like her before, not one who makes you feel so utterly insignificant, yet so strangely compelled. You find yourself inexplicably drawn to her magnetic presence, captivated by her enigmatic allure. But as you venture deeper into this captivating enigma, you realize that your feelings towards her are a tangled web of desire and fear. You're enthralled by her self-assured nature, her quiet strength and independence, leaving you both envious and intimidated. You yearn for her affection, while simultaneously dreading the realization that she doesn't need you, that she doesn't rely on your approval or validation. Why is it that you can't stop thinking about her? What is it about her that sets her apart from all the other women you've encountered? To understand this, let's look at what Carl Jung had to say about the shadow. He theorized that everyone has a shadow self, an unconscious part of the personality that contains repressed and unacceptable traits, thoughts, and feelings. This shadow is projected onto the person who doesn't need you. You admire her strength and independence, but at the same time, you're afraid of the parts of yourself that she represents. You see in her the qualities you should have, the shadow aspects of your own personality that you've been suppressing. You recognize in her the reflection of your own potential, and this both fascinates and frightens you. She embodies the archetype of the wise old woman, the crone, as Jung would call her. She's seen it all and isn't fazed by much. She's content with who she is, comfortable in her own skin, secure in her sense of self. She's not afraid to be herself, because she knows that's where her power lies. You can't help but wonder how she possesses such a profound understanding of life's complexities and seems to navigate through it with such grace and ease. You want to know her secrets, to learn from her, but you also fear the truth, because in facing your own shadow, you must confront the darkness within yourself. And the more you acknowledge and integrate your shadow, the more complete and whole you become. But this process of individuation, as Jung called it, can be painful and challenging. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable aspects of yourself. Now, imagine sitting alone in a dark room, staring into the flickering flames of a candle. Your breath slows down. Your eyelids grow heavy. You hear a knock at the door. You startle, suddenly aware of how still you've become. A voice calls out, "Are you there?" Startled, you spring into action, blowing out the candle and racing to hide in the closet. When the coast is clear, you return to your seat, heart pounding, wondering why such a simple knock could send you into a panic. You realize that you've been living in a constant state of high alert, always expecting the worst, always bracing for impact. This is your trauma response, a leftover reflex from past hurts and wounds that you've carried with you for far too long. But here's the thing. Your worth is not determined by anyone else's perception of you. You deserve to live a life that reflects your true value. Yet you find yourself trapped in a cycle of seeking validation from others, constantly measuring yourself against their expectations and judgments. You've allowed the opinions of others to shape your reality, to dictate your emotions and control your actions. But it's time to break free from these chains. It's time to reclaim your life and rewrite your story. You are worthy of love and respect, not because of what others think, but because of who you truly are. Embrace your authentic self, nurture your unique qualities, and watch as your confidence grows. Let go of the need for external validation and instead find solace in your own inner light. Remember, you are magnificent just as you are. Your worth is inherent and undeniable. Don't let anyone diminish your brilliance or undermine your strength. Instead, shine brightly, unapologetically you, and watch as your life transforms into a masterpiece of self-discovery and fulfillment. But why does this particular woman evoke such a profound reaction in you? The answer lies in her very essence, in the depth of her being. You see, she is not like other women. She walks her own path, unfazed by societal norms and expectations. She doesn't conform to the roles or stereotypes that others might try to impose on her. She's not a trophy to be won or a possession to be acquired. She is a force of nature, wild and untamable, a raging fire that cannot be contained. And as you gaze into those mesmerizing eyes of hers, you catch a glimpse of that inner strength. You see the reflection of your own untapped potential, and it stirs something deep within your soul. It awakens a desire to be more, to become the best version of yourself. But here's where the complexity arises. As you yearn for her, you also fear what her love might cost you. You sense that she demands the best, not because she's arrogant or selfish, but because she knows you are capable of greatness. She sees the untapped potential within you and challenges you to reach new heights. But this awakening comes at a price. It forces you to confront the darkness within yourself, the parts of you that you've buried deep, the wounds that still ache, and the dreams that you've put on hold. It confronts you with your own mortality, reminding you that time is precious and that you can't keep running from your pain forever. You may find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew, challenging long-held beliefs and confronting deeply ingrained fears. But here's the paradox. It's in this very discomfort that you find the catalyst for change. The Stoics tell a story about a man who went to Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoics, to ask for advice on how to deal with negative emotions. Epictetus led him outside and said, "Which one of these do you prefer?" The man looked around and replied, "This one." "Well," said Epictetus, "so too with emotions. They're all disturbances of the mind when we prefer some things and avoid others. Choose not to be upset by anything that doesn't depend on your decisions, for it's only in this choice that you will find tranquility. You choose to cling to your pain and traumas as familiar companions, even though they bring you nothing but misery. Or you choose to embrace the discomfort of growth, knowing it will lead you to greater wisdom and resilience. The woman doesn't offer false comfort. She doesn't shield you from pain or pretend that life is anything other than a mix of joy and sorrow. Instead, she shows you the beauty in the balance, the strength in embracing the full spectrum of human emotion. She understands that true strength lies not in suppressing our emotions, but in acknowledging and learning from them. And it's this authenticity, this willingness to embrace the messy, complicated reality of life that draws you to her. You see in her a kindred spirit, someone who understands the futility of trying to escape pain or deny its power. And you yearn to be like her, to rise above the mundane and embrace the richness of the human experience. But there's a catch. In choosing to walk this path of growth and self-discovery, you must detach from the need for external validation. You can no longer seek approval from others, for that is a form of control that will only hold you back. You must learn to validate yourself, to accept yourself, flaws and all, and to trust in the journey of life. And it is in this moment of surrender, of letting go of the need for validation, that you finally break free from the shackles of your past. You realize that your worth is not defined by another person's opinion or the fleeting nature of physical attraction. You are enough just as you are. And with this newfound realization, you step into a world of limitless possibilities. You attract the right people into your life who appreciate you for who you truly are. Your relationships become deeper, more meaningful, and based on mutual respect and admiration. You find fulfillment not in someone else's approval, but in the richness of your own being. You discover that the woman you once thought you needed is actually the reflection of the strength and wisdom that have always been within you. She was never a distraction, but a catalyst for your transformation. You were never lost, but merely on a journey of self-discovery. And now, with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit full of joy, you say to yourself, I am magnificent.